As I try to speak, LoTA is used to connect LANs. Therefore, you can have LAN 1 and LAN 2. If you want those LAN to communicate, then you need a LoTA in between. That is, if you just try to have this one, there is one LAN here. This one we call it LAN 1, which can be at any. For example, here I mentioned to be at Canossa. And there is another LAN here, LAN 2, which is somewhere like this one, maybe Feather Boys. If you want the two to communicate, you need a LoTA in between. A LoTA in between to interconnect between the two LAN. And also you can have more LAN. For example, you have LAN 3. This one is Marian. Now you want to make this LAN communicate. You must connect via a router. For example, so you may not be interested only to connect LANs. You want to connect it to internet. There is cloud here. Internet cloud is around here. Internet cloud. If you want to connect to that one, you want to connect this LAN to internet, then you have to connect via a LoTA. Sometimes when you go to ISP, Internet Service Provider, they give you a LoTA. That means they provide you a way to connect it to internet. You need it in between. If you have no LoTA, then you cannot connect the two LANs. Otherwise, maybe you place them in the same physical location and then you connect via a switch. And that particularly will be regarded as only one LAN. Now that is how it is being done when you are just trying to consider the application of LoTA in connection of LANs. But in recent application, LoTA is having other features of switch. And when you see the shape of LoTA can be similar to the shape of switch, because it's having also some ports where you can access like a switch. Therefore, instead of buying the two devices, LoTA and the switch, you only need to buy a LoTA because it's having all features of a switch. That is, I think you can see here, we tried to see how switch is. We said switch is like, this one is our switch. This one is our switch, which is having many ports, which you can access, many ports. Also, LoTA of today are having these ports. Therefore, you can just use it as a switch, or you can use it as a LoTA. Now, LoTA are of two types again. There is a wired one and wireless. Therefore, there are LoTAs which are supporting wired connection. You need some wires in order to connect between LANs or just connection to internet. Some you don't need wires. You only just like you broadcast wireless. That can access, means can connect several LANs or connect to internet via a wireless. Therefore, if it's having a wireless, must be having an antenna to broadcast and it will receive signals. That will be the function of it. Now, depending on your requirement, you will just choose according to. First, you need to see where is your physical location. Maybe an office or just a home. That's the first criteria to choose which router to use. Because sometimes you can choose a wired router, but the environment are not supporting connection to wire from the source up to where you are. Therefore, you might choose the wireless for that particular environment. But if the environment are supporting connection by wire, then you can prefer wired network. But also there is other category like speed of connection. You need also to know about the cost. How much is it? And if you are doing business, you might also consider this factor of cost. Will it just break even, or will it just lead to profit or loss? Now, the other device is modem. We can just finish our discussion on computer network accessory by just looking on modem. Modem is standing for modulation and demodulation. This one is equal to modulation and demodulation. Modulation refers to adding something to an intended signal so that it can be propagated through communication channel. But demodulation stands for removing those signals you added before in order now to to get a clear message that was intended to be sent. Therefore, that particular device is doing all two. Just to add some signal and to remove some signal in order to get the message that you wanted. In most cases, if you go to ISP, I said ISP standing for Internet Service Provider. Then you can need a router to connect your LAN to an internet, but also you can need a modem. A modem in most cases is for internet connection. Therefore, any ISP will just try to provide a modem. A router cannot be provided because also it's expensive. Router is provided for those important customers. That's why a normal user will always only have a modem, because the main intention may be only just connecting to internet. But a router is involving a lot. You can make a lot of configuration in. You can just make a configuration to fit out what should be accessed, what should get in, what should get out. A router can be configured just to make those decisions. But modem will always try only to connect it to internet according to predefined functions which are just within it. Now, modem is not integrated within a computer motherboard. Why is not integrated? because that one will depend on who is providing that particular service, especially internet connection service. That's why even if you go to different ISP, they will give you a different modem. Modem are not the same. You go to Vodacom, you get a different modem. You go to Airtel, the same. You go to TTCL, they give you what they call a modem, DSCL modem. But the main purpose is just to have flexibility in connection who you want to connect it to. And that is having something to do in business, because you allow more people to come with their own type of connection and to define different parameters like speed, etc. But a network interface card, as we discussed before, is within a computer. Always is within a computer. If a computer is not having network interface card, you cannot connect it to any network, you cannot connect it to any internet. That is not possible. Now, as I try to speak here, a modem is not necessary for LAN. If you are just connecting LAN, you don't need that modem. Modem is working better if you want to connection to internet. That's why even ISP are having what we call those modem, which you can use for different purposes. Now, also modem are of different types. This modem. Now, the major difference is speed and transmission rate. That is where you are measuring the different types of modem. When you take modem from different ISPs, they will just give you a limitation of speed. Some cannot support even 4G, but some can support for up to 4G. Now that is where this modem differ. You can be having a modem of year 2010. 2010, most of modem was not able to support 4G. When you come to use today, you will find its speed is very low, because nowadays we have modem which can support 4G and also can support 5G. When you go to higher generation, means also speed increases. That's why every mobile operator is trying to advertise on speed issues. Now this one is just a comparison of how you can get which speed you can get for particular type of modem, like a dial-up modem, which can go up to 56 kb data transmission speed. Cellular modem used in laptop that enable connection while on the go. Cable can go up to 500 times faster than a standard modem. Therefore, you can see, depending on the type of modem that you use, also the speed will try to change, and you also need to choose which one you want. But also the properties and characteristic of modem, like speed, also will determine how much is it.